All right, man. OG 285, man. Let me just jump right off into it, right? I'm thanking God first and foremost that I got 183 subscribers. I don't know y'all, and I'm not on social media. I'm not on X. I'm not on Facebook or TikTok or nothing like that. Just YouTube, because I can get on here pretty much express myself, man. That's enough for me. So I thank God for you for subscribing to my channel. But now I'm gonna ask my subscribers if y'all can help me out a little bit, and maybe somebody with legal expertise, a lawyer would be perfect. Somebody that's willing to go to bat for someone who, I've been done wrong too. I see a lot of folks, they getting these lawsuits, but a lot of people getting killed. Well, actually, the Department of Correction, Johnny Sykes to be exact, the warden of, I think he was the warden of Hayes, a couple more prisons. But my end of my tenure, he was the warden of Reedsville. When I got out of Reedsville, I made it out alive. Not because they didn't try to kill me, because they did. And I got what they call PDS, post-traumatic stress. It ain't even a disorder no more, because it's normal. You know, if you've been traumatized, that you might suffer from this right now. So, they tried to kill me, point blank period. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little history about me, man. I'm gonna be all the way honest with this. Take your time, sit back and relax, man. 1992, I committed a couple of armed robberies. I armed robbed 2 girls that I actually went to high school with, Sherry Forson and Amy Medford, and I got arrested for that crime. I'm guilty of it. I went to prison for it. I did my time for it, but they tried to give me a life sentence for that crime when I was, I think it was like 22 years old, 21 years old, something like that. And I pled guilty and threw myself on the mercy of the court. Judge Boswell granted me mercy. And he retired that year and went into being a private lawyer. So we thank God for Judge Boswell for saving my life. And I wound up going first to Jackson State Penitentiary for diagnosis, and I wound up getting my security classified as medium, and they sent me to River CI, where it was a lot of, down south versus ATL type of gang shit going on. I got involved in it, assaulted an inmate while I was down there, and it raised my security up. That probably when they did it, but when I was in the hole for assaulting him with a master lock, I got into an altercation with an officer, but them charges got thrown out too, because I was on lockdown. He wasn't supposed to open my door. He just supposed to stick the food in there, So he opened my door, so he already know what's on and popping, right? So I wound up getting my security raised close, and I went to Hayes CI in 1990, beginning of 90, right, end of 93. And I had to do 30 days on level 5, level 6, or level 6, the different levels. You had to do 30 days on each level. And it was 24-in-1 lockdown, and I did that. And then you went to the last level was like a boot camp, like an ITP. And this sergeant, even though I was young then, I was an OG then, they folk knew me, man, and they just went ahead and put me in population, but they put me in the Predator dorm in E2, but they allowed me, instead of having like a beach, I was a dorm, or I clean up the dorm in the daytime. And when the PT, when the boot camp did their PT, they allowed me to participate in that. So I did that. Everything going, good in my little prison career. I actually got a job at the education department. I was adult basic education instruction. I just kept getting tested positive for marijuana because I was smoking weed in there. And so they took that little job from me, and I had a little pull throughout the years. But what had happened was, one of the times I was locked down, I caught a nurse, a white nurse, and she was an older lady. I was like 22, she was like 42, 40. She was 20 years older than me, older white lady. We developed a relationship. She started spoiling me. I started taking advantage of her because that's what I was doing at that age. God forgive me, but that's what I'm just telling the truth. And so I exploited her as far as money and stuff for my family and my lifestyle in prison. Anyway, we got exposed. So we got exposed. Boom, boom. A lot of her kin folks worked at the prison. In a small town, everybody that live in the town, they work at the prison, or they made, or they're affiliated with it in some shape, form, or fashion. They got fire departments, they got boot camps, they got all this shit right there in Tryon, Georgia, right there on the border of Tennessee. And they also have SMU, special management unit for those dangerous inmates. Anyways, I'm back in general population. I'm in E building. I got some corrupt police bringing me weed. I got a nurse. I had a little pool with some of the corrupt officers, so I could, even if you wanted to get moved from one cell to another, one dorm to another, I could do that for you, because I had a sergeant in my pocket and several female officers. Shouts out to Ellie Mae, all of them. Tryon, if anybody out there from old Hayes, what the name is? What my man name is? I can't think of the officer name. So cool. He used to wear the state trooper glasses and shit. He be in the room smoking weed with the inmate, coming out with the baby powder and shit. He was my nigga. I can't Dewberry. Yeah, Dewberry. Oh, Officer Dewberry, Officer Rudy, Officer Kylie, all these corrupt ass police officers that I dealt with in prison. We thank God for them. Anyway, I got exposed to a relationship with a nurse, and on January 1st, 2006, they told me to pack up my belongings. I was being transferred. This is not a transfer date, and the only other person that got transferred that day was an inmate, a career, a 20-year. He done already did 20 years. He did the first 18 years at Reedsville, and since he had done so much time, he was trying to make parole. So he came on, let him drop his security from maximum to close. He came to Hayes CI in order to try to, get the parole board to see a little favor, stayed out of trouble with Lola, even though he ran the joint. He had all the money. He ran Hayes. And he actually made them transfer him because the parole board set him off 8 years. And, they was on some military shit up there at Hayes. And, the inmates run the prison at Reedville because they're maximum security, right? So he said, if I got to do 8 more years, y'all got to send me back to Reedville. So he actually made them they made the system transport him back to Reedville because he threatened if they didn't, that he would flood the penitentiary with drugs, and he had the ability to do that. So they transferred him and me on the same day. They sent him straight back to population. They sent me to high maximum security segregation. I ain't got no DRs, I ain't in no trouble. I went from being medium security in the dorm, even though it was a predator dorm. I wasn't even supposed to be in that dorm, but I was. They shipped me on this particular date, and we come to find out, I didn't know at the time, but the date that they shipped me, my first date as an inmate, was also Johnny Sykes' first day as the new warden of Reedsville, where he just left Hayes going to Reedsville. So I'm petitioning. I'm like, why y'all got me on lockdown, man? Why y'all got me on lockdown? I ain't did nothing, man, And I fought to get back in general population, but in order to be in general population in Reedsville, GSP 1, your security had to be maximum, because that was the general population. General population, 1 cell, 1 inmate per cell, maximum security. But they was in general population. So I get out there, and they put me in the dorm. Everybody in there, I got 20 months left I got less than 20 months left on my sentence. I got going on a little over 10 months left on my sentence in this dormitory. And I had high blood pressure, and they was treating me for that. And so every once a month I had to go to the hospital before breakfast so they could check my electrolytes and whatnot. So while I was in the hospital floor, the CERT team, the captains, and all these, drug dogs, they in my dormitory. Everybody in the dormitory is, in the door. They got piss cups with everybody's name on it. And I walk in, this is before breakfast, with the, the officers that's escorting me back to the dormitory. And every inmate in that dormitory could see me walking in under police guard. They see me go straight back to my cell. My cell don't get shaken down. I don't get piss tests or nothing like that. And so I'm like, what the fuck? So anyways, after the whole situation took place, the guy who really ran the dude from Savannah, Georgia, named DL, smart brother, but he'd been locked up for a number of years. True hustler in every sense of the word. I mean, him and his wife celebrated his wedding anniversary. He bought her a new Jag. He's in prison now. And so he ran the dorm. He probably made about $1,400 a week selling heroin and weed and shit, I went and talked to him, man, and we talked about my situation, and he, through the chain gang grapevine, a lot of folks had heard about me. And a lot of people knew that my first day was Johnny Sykes' first day, and I was supposed to be his boy, his snitch or whatever. That's what the rumor was. Even though they knew about the affair that I had up at Hayes. So he said, how long you got before you go home, bro? I said, I got 10 months, man. I got 10 months so I max out. August 18, 1997. He said, man, you need to get the fuck up out of my dorm, like, right now. He said, because it really don't matter about these folks setting you up. I believe. He said, but these niggas ain't gonna believe you, man. He said, I've been in the dormitory 11 years. That shit that happened this morning never happened in the whole 11 years I've been in here. He said, man, go on, catch out, man, and get the fuck on. Go home, man, before they send you home to your mama with a tag on your toe. So I saluted the brother, went out, called PC, did my last 10 months, got out. Traumatized over them last 10 months. I had dudes throwing piss and shit in my cell all night. They tied a sheet up around the ball. Thankfully, I got put in M4 behind the glass, but it was so hot that I had to lay on the floor all day long so I could breathe. Thank God I made it. Anyways, I'm seeing how a lot of people using the legal system to get justice. I'm trying to see if I got a subscriber that know anything about the law, or it's a lawyer that can help me with my case against the Department of Corrections and Johnny Sykes, and I think Wayne Gardner was the commissioner at that particular time. That take a medium security inmate, put him in a high max security dormitory, and then put him in a maximum security dormitory, and then make him out to be a snitch, so the inmates would kill me. But I was able to get on PC and stay them last 10 months out of the way. And I made it home. And I've never been back to prison since. So 1997, excuse me, 1997. August 18th, 1997, I was released from Reedsville, GSP. And a lot of bad shit took place down there. I witnessed some. I beat Curtis Roy's ass down there in the TV room. Y'all don't know who that is. Curtis Roy is the motherfucker that killed Sarah Tokars, Fred Tokars' wife up in Atlanta. And he down there with 4 life sentences. But he called me a stupid nigga in the TV room. I choked the bitch ass out. But I wish I could have contacted their family. They from West Palm Beach. That's where I grew up, in West Palm Beach, Florida. So if you know the tow cars, just tell them I kicked goddamn Curtis Roy's ass, man. They ought to send me a check or something, because they rich. And of course, you know the whole Tokar trial. You know, they had people like they tried to call in Dominique Wilkins, Deion Sanders, because you know he was part owner in those clubs that they had the front for. Yeah. Anyways, he was a club owner in Atlanta. He was a corrupt lawyer, man, and he hired somebody to kill his wife. And I beat his ass at Reedville. That's before I went to PC. So I really wasn't scared as far as being in the dorm until they did what they did, made me look like a snitch. Because see, that took it to another level. There wasn't nobody really just gonna kill me just on personal hand-to-hand beef or nothing like that. But when you trace somebody to be a snitch in the whole dormitory, everybody killed. Everybody that was in the dormitory with me got at least one life sentence, and all of them got murder charges. You understand me? So I had to do what I had to do, and I suffered for that. So if I can get some type of justice, can I get a lawsuit? Can somebody help me with a lawsuit that I can pay the state of Georgia for the traumatizing that they did to me over those years, man? Yeah, I was guilty of the crime that I went to prison for, and we know that jail is traumatizing. But they literally did a plot to kill me, and they suppress. I got so many stories that I could tell you about the corruption that was going on in that prison. I know because I lived it, you know what I mean? And I dealt with a lot of people on that staff there, and they know I'm telling the truth. And anybody there, one of the nurses that, after the fact, I worked at Red Lobster as a bartender in College Park on Old National, and she actually came there and sat at my bar, and she gave me some information. She told me one of my family members was the one that turned that woman in. Somebody that benefited from me dating with. I guess that, you know, she hated brother because of like a pimp or whatever. But it almost cost me my life back then, my young life. But through the grace of God, I made it through there. So, but I want some justice, man. So if I got somebody know some mad lawyer, can I get me one of them more racist ass lawyers that want to pay the white man back for this brother that went through all this hell in prison? Because, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that the nurse that I was involved with, she was white. Yeah, she was a white woman. There was a lot of that going on up in Hayes. So I wasn't the only one. There's a white woman, what's her name? My little corrupt ass Sergeant Willingham, his wife up in the kitchen fucking out both pant legs, bro. I'm trying to get a detail up in there just so I can get some pussy. That's how many niggas fucking her. Woo-hoo, she love that goddamn black dick. Bitch had jungle fever like goddamn no other, you feel me? Anyways, I've been through that, man. So if somebody want to help me put some money in my pocket, you don't think that's wrong? Them folks tried to kill me because I had a relationship with a staff member. I know that's against the rules and all that right there, but so wrong is wrong no matter who do it. Just because one person do wrong don't give you the opportunity. If you're supposed to be blind and you're supposed to be carrying out the justice of the law, you can't do dirty shit and try to kill me under the table just because I violated a rule. I did all my time. I admit my guilt to my crime. I apologize to those women that I got convicted for robbing, man. They know that. When I was on social media, that I was friends with them. They forgave me already. I've done some stuff even worse than that you know the world don't know about, but that victim has forgave me already. So we thank God for her too. We thank God for, like I say, man, I was just trying to get some money. I really wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I was trying to get high back then. But I wound up going to prison for 5 years, and I almost lost my life during them 5 years because the corrupt warden tried to kill me, man. Do I got a lawsuit with somebody? Get in the comment, man. They know something about the law. Let's get this paper, man. A little more power. I gotta make another video about this fucking United States of America too, man. But I might say that for tomorrow. Man, it's just so much. I'm gonna say this though at the end. The Biden crime family is the worst mob family in the history of America, bro. The Gambinos, none of these crime families got shit on the Bidens, bro. Because they might have had a corrupt senator, a corrupt judge that was in their pocket doing stuff for them, a corrupt lawyer, a corrupt prosecutor that was on the payroll. They might have had that. But Joe Biden got the Secret Service, he got the FBI, he got the CIA, he got the Department of Justice, he got special counsel doing his bidding. His shit all in front of your face. He want to pay restoration. They say they want to do black. Y'all help me get my money back from Georgia for the Department of Correction, how they traumatized me, man. That I got post-traumatic stress. I'm suffering from it right now. I got a borderline disorder. I might snap on yeah, but they won't give me no Social Security benefit. I broke my back and my neck when I was 18 years old. Got artificial parts in my back, but the doctor told me by the time I'm 35, I'm walking, I'm blessed. Because I got DDS, degenerative disc disorder, distress syndrome, rather. I mean, every year it get worse. I don't take no medication whatsoever outside of God's medication. I don't take no pills outside of supplements, vitamins. That's it. I'll be 56 years old this year. Have my head gray already. Y'all want me to have my best life in my old age? Help me goddamn sue Georgia Department of Correction and Johnny Sykes for some millions of dollars, man. Let's chop it up, man. More love, more power, man. OG285 reminding you to get it right before you get it wrong. It's too bad me and haters don't get along. And yes, this story is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.